24 hours ago, the Blues took the ice at Scottrade Center for the first time in a week, but the rush showed. The Blues spotted the Vancouver Canucks a 2-goal lead, but the tide swung late in the second, and the Blues finally tied it in the third. But their dreams of 2 points went out the window late in overtime on a power play goal by Ryan Kesler. Tonight, they'll get a chance to right the ship at Music City against the Nashville Predators. This well-coached team, along with their gritty style, makes them tough to play against every night. It's a key Central Division matchup, and it begins next. And we are back at Bridgestone Arena in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And it's a big night. It's Hockey Fights Cancer night. The Predators wore some special jerseys during the warm-up, and a young man is going to drop the ceremonial first puck, and here are the jerseys that the players wore during the warm-up, so trying to raise a lot of money in the battle against cancer.
Yeah, all the players that had Twitter accounts, they used those. The guys that didn't, they had Hockey Fights Cancer with the hashtag on it. So a wonderful job here by the Nashville Predators organization, and awareness all the way around. The special young man who's battling cancer right now dropped the puck, and there's Shea Weber and Dave Backus giving their sticks.
That's great.
That's unbelievable. Look at that young man. Sure gives him a lot of courage, a lot of confidence being out there like that. Boy.
Gets to drop the puck and gets a couple of sticks.
Yeah. Well, good for the players. Good for the players. Everybody recognizes this incredibly brutal battle that so many go through. Oh, lots of Blues fans on hand here in Nashville. We saw them wandering around last night. Here's our Dobbs Tire and Auto starting goaltenders. And as you mentioned in the open, John, Yaroslav Halak gets back in the net. Didn't have very many shots last night, 18, but only 7 real scoring chances they monitored. And he'll go up against Carter Hutton, who, as we said, in relief of Pekka Rinne in Game 1 at Scottrade, played very well there and has only played 3 NHL games.
And 2 veteran coaches, Ken Hitchcock and Barry Trotz, know each other very well. A lot of respect for each other. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. For the Blues, it is Steen, Oshie, and David Backes against Nystrom, Matt Hendricks, and Paul Gaustad. That is the Predators' checking line with Jones and Weber on defense. As Seth Jones twists one back to center ice, and now Hendricks tips it in. Jordan Leopold paired with Pollock again tonight. And the Blues break the puck to center ice. Here's Backes. Great wide feed on the tape of Leopold. He pulls up looking for some late help on the cycle. Okay. And that's number 3, Seth Jones, the 19-year-old.
That's a great defensive read, but there by Seth Jones. Otherwise, that puck is in deep. But I like right away the Blues trying to establish that physical presence against this young phenom, Seth Jones, by hitting him early.
And a drive by Tarasenko after a long stretch pass by Bolmeister. And a save by Hutton.
A strong pace to the game. And last night's game against Vancouver, as we all go back and try to analyze it and dissect it, it had a slower pace to it. It had that one-and-done pop gun offense. And certainly the Blues are looking for more sustained pressure in the offensive zone. Not just get across the blue line and fire it, and then the other team goes the other way, whether it's Vancouver last night or Nashville tonight. You've got to have sustained pressure in the offensive zone.
And now Berglund on the faceoff. The Predators, the best faceoff team in the league. Blues win it. And Berglund trying to get turned around. Now back on the line for Pietrangelo. And a wrist shot steered away by the goaltender Hutton. Now Schwartz on the cycle. Here's Stewart. Back near the line. Bolmeister couldn't keep it in. And that's fired away by Hornquist. And now Mike Fisher there for Nashville. Turns it over. And Berglund back the other way. In with Schwartz and Stewart. And a pass to the slot. That was intended for Bolmeister, broken up. Nashville a 3-on-2 back in the zone. Colin Wilson to the front. And a good play there by Bolmeister as he got a stick in front of Hornquist. As the Predators with a 3-on-2 break. Stewart turns and fires it out.
Well, as Jay Bolmeister, the defenseman, was up the ice and looking for a play from Berglund, but it was Bolmeister that got back first and broke up that play right in front of Halak.
Now it's stolen down low by Matt Cullen. Cullen on a line here, and this line has been perhaps their best of late with Bourque and Craig Smith. It's a line to watch for the St. Louis Blues.
And, John, one of the things you can't do against Nashville is try forcing pucks through the middle of the ice. And we're going to stop it right here. Now, the play that's developing is right to here. But look at the ice right in the middle. There's nothing there. This is a long pass right there. Bouwmeester, there's 19 White going through the middle of the ice. It wasn't intended, I don't believe, for Bouwmeester. I believe it was intended for Stewart on the far side. But that turnover in the middle leads to an odd man rush the other way.
And it's Sobotka, Payarvi, and Tarasenko against this Cullen line. Now a long pass by Jackman to center ice for Payarvi. He'll backhand one to the corner. Back of the goal, Ryan Ellis. Now the Blues get it. Tarasenko feeds Kevin Shattenkirk. And then back down low again to Payarvi. He was upended, but there's Sobotka to follow up. In the slot, Tarasenko trying to find some open ice. Angles one to Payarvi. Trying to work off the wall. And on the backhand, he'll feed it back for Jackman. Long bouncing shot. And that was wide by a foot or so. And the puck flipped out by the Predators. Shattenkirk gets it back. Now Sobotka walks it back in. Through a seam for Payarvi. And he goes wide on Ellis. And is squeezed off by Ryan Ellis. Loose change gobbled up by Reeves. As Reeves tries to make a play. On with Derek Roy. And now it's Brendan Morrow joining that unit. And Morrow keeps it in for the Blues.
Now this has all the ingredients to be a real good line too. I mean, Roy and Morrow, they played a little bit at training camp together.
And that's chopped away by the Predators. It goes back down the ice, and Yarrow wants to play this one ahead for Leopold. It's an area that the only shot so far. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah, sorry. That's an area that Yarrow has really improved on, hasn't it? I mean, coming out, communicating. He's worked on it hard in practice, making much better decisions with the puck.
Now Leopold far side for Polak. And he reverses under some pressure. And Leopold ahead for Steen. And he flips it off a Predator player. And that goes out of play.
Yeah, faceoff will be in the neutral zone, but it brings us a little bit of time here for our Toyota keys to the game. Why wouldn't we start that off right off the hop here? But you got to stay out of the penalty box. When the Blues have had success, they've had 4 or fewer times to the box against this squad, and extend that offensive zone time, as I mentioned. It can't be one and done. It's too easy to defend that way.
And the Blues control a faceoff. Pietrangelo. And on for Oshie. This Oshie line, in the first 8 games, they have compiled 29 points among the 3 players.
Amazing start. Just an incredible start. Now it's up to a couple of other guys that have had chances. I know Berglund talked to Bernie Fedorko about that before the game. The Stewarts, the Berglunds, they're starting to catch on here, and it's just a matter of time before they start going in.
Now the Blues have 2 men in the corner. Oshie trying to get it free. Is worked over by Seth Jones. And now Oshie far side for Steen in front off Backus. Puck is loose there. Bouwmeester comes in, and that shot blocked as Hutton was down, and it was blocked at the defense. Nashville back in. Nystrom a shot. Pad saved by Halak, and the net comes free. The Predator player Hendricks goes sprawling into the Blues goal.
Yeah, John, it was Hendricks that blocked the shot earlier when Bouwmeester had the shot on goal, and this comes on the heels of a hit from behind right here, a push shove right there by Shea Weber, the big strong defenseman, a potentially dangerous play. Plaza Tire Service replay shows that chance right there. Hutton gets a left pad on it. It squirts out, and there's the shot block by Hendricks that leads to the odd man break going the other way. Good save by Halak on Nystrom, and a good pace to this hockey game.
And a face-off to the right of Halak. It's Fisher and Sobotka. And Vladdy, the Blues' best face-off man. He's over 70% this year. And this should be an icing call. It is. Not dressed tonight for the Blues, Ian Cole and Adam Cracknell, as Lapierre serves the 4th of his 5-game suspension.
After Hendricks went into the net, he had a word to say to Bouwmeester. And you can see there, Bouwmeester gets position on him, and Bouwmeester might have given him a little bit of shove there, but Hendricks certainly wasn't stopping in that area, so good for Halak to slide out of the way to his left.
Out for the Predators, Rich Clune and Victor Stahlberg, the former Hawk, and we mentioned that Pecorine with a bad hip. He had surgery last May and has developed an infection and is gone for at least a month. And a shot up high is caught on the blocker by Halak. But Darren, that's quite obviously a huge loss for the Predators to lose Rene.
Well, there is no question. And in the short term, you can always do a good job of patchwork and replacing. But in the long term, that's what makes the great players great, because they're able to get in and out of slumps and funks a lot quicker than the average player. And certainly the team like Nashville, they gain a lot of confidence from their goaltending because they win a lot of 2-1, 3-2 hockey games. Always have. This is lobbed ahead by Steen, and here is Jones turning. And the Predators up the ice. Wilson can't get it around Pietrangelo, fires it in deep now for Hornquist. And then Backes works over Wilson back of the goal. Centering pass. And a great save by Halak with the left pad of the glove. What a save! And the puck to center ice. I think that was on Hornquist, and now we get a penalty call, a tripping minor. Yeah, it's going to be on Colin Wilson after this glorious save. That's the kind of save you need on the road early in a hockey game. A tripping call. The referees, Gord Dwyer and Dan O'Halloran for tonight's game. Colin Wilson, a big, strong man, makes a good play, and Hornquist thinks he's got it all the way. And then there's the trip up right there. The stick gets in the skates of Pietrangelo. Our Plaza Tire Service replay shows this brilliant save. I think Halak thinks he had it between his elbow and the left side of his body. Bernie, you're right behind there. That was a heck of a play.
Yeah, it really was, Banger. I mean, he did not know where it was. I mean, I thought that it was going to stay in his equipment, too, and it just fell back down. But a good clear, and now the Blues find themselves on a power play. Really, that was just really through the first 5 minutes, the first time that the Predators had any pressure in here. The play's been all at the other end of the ice.
Blues were 2 for 4 on the power play against Nashville on opening night. Here is Steen, a shot. He scores! Steen, another goal, his 9th of the year. And the beat rolls on.
Are you kidding me? This has been magical for Alexander Steen. He's got a wicked wrister, and you can hardly hear the noise of the puck leaving his stick. He just gets it on that heel of his blade and just rolls it, and it's just so hard to determine. Good play by Schwartz on the faceoff, and then Shattenkirk walks the line and buys a little bit of time. Boy, for the Nashville Predators, that's the one guy you don't want wide open there at the faceoff dot is Alexander Steen. Great ISO by the boys in the truck right there, and ladies, of course. And what a shot by Steen. Stewart's in front, and although Stewart hasn't scored a goal yet, how many times has he been a byproduct of a goal just from being in front of the net like that?
Now, Panger, is that inexperience from the goaltender? Because he should have been right out on top of Stewart, shouldn't he have not? Yeah, but maybe collision with Stewart, and maybe gets a interference call.
Yeah, I think that, that big body intimidates some goalies, and I think, Carter will learn from that and get out on above the blue paint.
Drive by Backes and a big rebound. Coughed up. Oshie was diving after it, and the Blues get it again. So the goal by Steen at 5:27. Puck in front again, and now taken by Weber, and the Predators get the puck to center ice. So the Blues, you saw the numbers, have now scored power play goals in 7 of their first 9 games. And Darren, that was yet another power play goal right off a face-off. We have seen a lot this year for the Blues.
Yeah, and Schwartz, he did a great job of, he got his legs wide, he was trying to win it back, and he actually got pushed ahead by the Predators center iceman, and so it was a good break, but I like the way Shattenkirk walked that line and bought some time.
So the Blues strike first and lead 1-0 on their 5th shot of the night. Here comes Polak. And he does not get to the red line. That should be an icing call. It is, as Klein gets there first. And we get a whistle.
Well, the power play is 4th best in the National Hockey League, and Ken Hitchcock and Gary Agnew have to be happy with scoring just like that. But here's the faceover that we're talking about. Here's Shattenkirk's going to end up going back there and walk the line. And you can see that at that point, Steen's not in the picture yet. Here he comes now because he was on the right point. Now he walks over there, so a little miscommunication there by the penalty killers of Nashville, and a great setup by the Blues.
Shattenkirk and Schwartz get the assist at 5:27. And that's off a body in front now to the corner. And then worked on to center ice for Brendan Morrow. He'll drop it back for Leopold. And a return feed to the longtime Dallas star. Morrow tips it in. He goes off on a line change. Shots are 5-3 for the Blues. 7 minutes gone here in the first period. Number 9 is the 19-year-old Philip Forsberg. They got him late last year in a deal from Washington for Marty Erad, who requested a trade late last year. Of course, the Predators missed the playoffs last year by 14 points in an injury-plagued year. That's centered by Leguan. Through everybody. Now grabbed by Sobotka. And the Blues to center ice. Here's Sobotka again. 4 Predators are back. Now to Payarvi. And he goes wide. Circles that net. Back for Shattenkirk. A drive and another big rebound. Coughed up by Hutton. And Shattenkirk again at the line.
Oh, good read by Shattenkirk. Playing on his toes. That's when he's at his best.
And now the Blues and Sobotka. They protect the puck, but a pass across. Blocked by Nystrom. And the Blues have to clear the zone.
A good shift right there. I like the way that line's working with Magnus Payarvi's moving his feet. He's getting in on the forecheck. He seems like a very confident player working alongside Sobotka and Tarasenko.
And that should be a hand pass. It is, as the Blues were guilty of the hand pass in the neutral zone. Well, Hitchcock's got to love the way Steen is going. He's on an 82-goal clip. And along with Bernie Federko and Darren Pang, John Kelly back in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Well, the Blues don't get a ton of power play chances, but Darren, their power play is ranked 4th in the NHL, over 26%, and 1-for-1 tonight.
Well, the theory of, firing the puck towards net to establish it right off the hop has been really beneficial. Very opportunistic, good set plays, winning key faceoffs, and obviously having a player with the confidence of Steen. Let's face it, the power play for the Blues is much better when Steen's on the point. It just is. It has been. It's been proven. Sometimes certainly you get away from it based on different scenarios, injuries, needing somebody up front. But when Steen's on the back end of it, firing pucks and hitting the net, I mean, it's special and it clicks.
A year ago, the Blues power play was ranked 12th, just over 19%. Darren, they had a great start a year ago, but then in the final 20 games or so, they cooled off. So they would like to be a lot more consistent on the power play this year.
Yep, got some new bodies, though, at the end of the, at the trade deadline, and got Bouwmeester and got Leopold. They tried them at the points, and they still do, especially Bouwmeester.
Here's a centering pass intended for Craig Smith, just off the mark. Now Smith, who's red hot for Nashville. For Cullen. And the former Wild center iceman now to Bourque. And then down low again for Smith, wrapped up there, back of the goal. Puck comes free to Cullen. His centering pass blocked. Good job by Pietrangelo.
This has been their best offensive line the last little while, led by Cullen.
Here's a centering pass. Smith right on, and a save by Halak. Smith was 20 feet out. He has 2 goals and 7 points this year. Now a drive by Klein. That got through, and a save again by Halak.
Now Halak likes this kind of game. These are the kind of games that he shines in. Getting some shots early, getting a feel for it. He's made some spectacular saves with the pads early on.
And the Blues get the puck to center ice. Here's Oshie for Berglund. Look out at the Predator bench as that was fired too high, and we get a whistle.
Well, Cullen does an excellent job. He's a distributor of the puck. He's doing a phenomenal job with his young wingers, Gabriel Bourque and Craig Smith, who's their leading point getter. Pietrangelo tries to slide away from Smith. Smith stays with him, and by hanging on just a slight second too long, that allows this opportunity there, and a terrific right pad save by Halak.
It's that relentless forecheck that the Predators have, and you've got to be so careful. I mean, you can never give up, and I think that you saw Pietrangelo just relax a little bit, which you can't do against this club.
Well, Hutton almost relaxed there behind the net, and Steen almost got his second tonight. And Hutton had to scramble back as the Predators now work it down the ice. In front, Colin Wilson, a shot, and that was blocked, I think, by Polak.
Yep.
And it bounces all the way down the ice on goal. No icing here.
Yeah, give Roman Polak, credit bouncing back. Last night he had one go off his skate, go under the bar and in for the first goal for the Vancouver Canucks. But there he is again, putting his body on the line in front of the net.
Now Wilson at the line. He'll poke it off the board, trying to go around Polak. But his partner Leopold gets there. Nice recovery, and then Backus slings one ahead, and then walked in by Payarvi. He was hit hard by Victor Bartley. And Payarvi goes down. Now Payarvi pitchforks one to the corner. Tarasenko finds Shattenkirk at the line, a shot, and that was wide with a screen in front. And the puck is lobbed to center ice and back into Blues territory. Shot 7-5 for the Blues. They lead on a Steen power play goal. Shattenkirk for Sobotka. Trying to get in. He goes wide, then a shot. And a stick save again by Hutton. Now Sobotka finds Shattenkirk, who gets it to Jack, but a drive. Pinballs around in front. Tarasenko with it. Tries to settle the puck. Back to Shattenkirk. And he lets it go. No screen there. And Hutton saw that all the way. And we get a whistle. The Blues up by 1 in the first.
Well, for Alexander Steen, it's just been an outstanding start. And he wears the A on the road. They alternate it. They've got a group of leaders, and he is clearly one of the top guys. 9 goals in 9 games, the most on the Blues since 08-09, when Big Walt Pete Tkachuk did it. 8 goals in 8 games and 15 points in 9. Most on the Blues since 94-95, when the great Brett Hull had 14 in 8 games. That's how good this start has been so far.
And the Blues win another face-off, and a shot by Jackman tipped over the goal. And then Morrow knocked down as he tries to battle for the puck. Jackman comes in and gets some support there from Reeves to Shattenkirk. Long wrister is blockered away by Hutton.
Another rebound there. That's the Blues can do themselves a favor. Keep putting him at the net.
Now Roy in front to Reeves. Oh, great save there with the pad by Hutton. And then Reeves again. Here's Ellis trying to feed it up the boards. He does for Hendricks. And the puck to center ice. Blues on it again. This line has had some good chances early on. As Jackman stepped up and belted Hendricks, who gave him a bit of a two-hander.
Yeah, he might go with Hendricks too. Yes, he is.
We will.
Yep.
Jackman and Hendricks.
Hendricks went into the net early in the game. Remember that? And he had some words with Bolmeister. You know, he kind of startled Jackman. Helmet to helmet, it looked like, on that hit.
More of a wrestling match at this point. Hendricks trying to get a left, and now Jackman gets him down, throws a left, and the line's been intervened.
Good response there. You had to know after that hit that Jackman was a little bit foggy because he was startled by the collision right about at the blue line, and then next thing you know, you got Hendricks there, who's he's been an honorable winger throughout his career. He's fought tough guys. He's battled for his teammates as a member of Washington. Here's the hit here. You see the shoulder kind of gets him right on the dice. You see he's kind of a little bit startled there, and then a little bit of tap, and let's go. And that word's being said right there, and you know the game by that time. The tough Westerner, Barrett Jackman, not new to this kind of stuff, but it's a good matchup between these two guys. Weight, height, and a good little scrap there. Here's the chance by Ryan Reeves. Good start by this line here. Nice pass by Brendan Morrow. Reeves thinks he's got it to the far pad. Keep your eye against the grain. The right pad there. Terrific save. And then, another one. He got it on the rebound as well. A couple of good saves there by Carter Hutton, keeping this a 1-0 Blues lead.
Yeah, I think the Blues got a bad break because I think there should have been a slash on Hendrick after the initial hit.
The Blues lead the league in average penalty minutes a game, over 22 a night. Here's a great chance to Weber, and that hit the crossbar. It went behind Halak, and I think it hit the crossbar.
What a break that was.
And that shot is fired in from center by Backus wide. And we'll try and get a replay and see if we can pick up that Weber shot.
There are few in the league that can fire the puck as hard as Shea Weber. He's 6'4", 230 pounds, and he can absolutely let this sucker rip. And it goes right off the bar. As you see on the overhead angle here, you can see Halak comes out. There's a stick by Pietrangelo, but goes right off the bar, over the glove, and out.
I want to tell you guys, I never even saw it. I'm standing exactly behind the net there, and that puck came through Halak. I did not see it hit the crossbar. The hit came so fast.
It's a good thing it didn't hit Pietrangelo's stick, though, and deflect it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You saw the numbers. He has not scored in 22 games against the Blues since February of 09. Almost tied it there. Now it's centered by Steen. That was blocked. And then played on the near side by Cullen. And a hooking minor has been detected by the back referee here for Dwyer.
That's a long way away from the action, as we saw in last night's game.
2 minutes, okay.
Brian Bachmara called it from the neutral zone, while the veteran referee Tim Peel was right there and wasn't going to make the call on that Sedin play when Berglund went to the box. It resulted in the power play goal. On this particular play here, we'll see if he reaches out a little bit and gives him a little tug on the elbow. That's the old school where he got away with that easily, but he reached out and got a little bit of the elbow, and that's an offensive zone minor penalty. Not a good one to take.
Predators on the power play 17.1%, 1 for their last 7. And they were 0 for 4 against the Blues in the first game. And that shot from the line by Cullen did get through, and then played off the boards and out by Bolmeister. As Cullen is back on the point here with Ellis.
He really hit the veteran linesman, Don Henderson, right in the old noggin there. That's a good clear, good firm clear by Bouwmeester.
Up front it is Wilson, Smith, and Fisher. Weber leads the club with 2 power play goals. He's not on the ice right now as Schwartz comes to center shorthanded. And his shot, an easy one there for Hutton, who tips it out of midair.
Little Dominic Hasek right there, except that Schwartz was right beside him.
45 gone on the power play. Now back on the line. Here's Smith. Hands it on to Wilson. Wilson again back to the line. Cullen for Wilson. To the circle, a drive, and Halak read it well on the shot there by Ellis. Good read by Halak.
Yeah, really good read.
Now stolen. Osteen was away and was pulled down by Cullen, but no call. He might have been in cold turkey. And that pass goes all the way down the ice. And Yarrow lobs it 20 feet high in the air back to center ice. Now it comes to Hornquist back near the line for Cullen. And that pass is tipped away by Tarasenko. Cullen has it again. For Weber, a shot, and that was a high one. Puck may have been rolling off the glass and back to center. Up the middle now to Hornquist. Predators moving on the power play for Legwand. Trying to slide it through. Hornquist again to Legwand. Back to the line now for Weber. 20 to go in the power play. David Legwand a shot. Blocked in front by Polak. And then it squirts back to Weber. He gets it back again from Legwand. Work to the far side. Down low to Hornquist. And that was too hot to handle. Now Legwand in the slot. Forsberg a shot. Rebound to Jones. Here's Jones around the goal. Blues are back at full strength. Legwand with it. Through a seam. Back in front. And a good play there by Polak or Tarasenko to break it up.
What a long shift by Tarasenko on the penalty kill. He had to be exhausted. He makes a good second effort move there.
And the Blues have killed it off. And the puck is back on the Blues goal, taken there by Morrow. He reverses, now ahead for Reeves.
Good formation by Nashville on their power play. Constant movement. It was dangerous.
Shots are 13-6 for the Blues here. And a long drive by the rookie defenseman Matthias Ekholm. And that's turned away by Halak. And then Shattenkirk comes in and rattles the Predator player to the boards.
I think they're counting the shots on goal wrong.
Nystrom far side. Here is Ekholm again in the slot. Oh, what a save there! Klein the rebound. That's blocked by Derek Roy. Another big save there by Jaro Halak. It's still 1-0 St. Louis on the goal by Steen.
Had a conversation with Jaro after the game last night about his positioning. He wasn't happy with just being a little bit deeper in the net. It's something that he always talks about, and he's been aggressive in this one.
Well, Oshie goes around the goal. Now Steen at the line, a drive, and a save by Hutton. And that was a tough one through a screen. The razor-sharp Halak, some big saves in that last power play. Had a great start for Jaro Halak. Has kicked out all 8 Nashville shots.
Especially down low. I mean, you know when you're on top of your game, when you're seeing those pucks through traffic, he relies on his legs. He relies on getting his pads sealed to the ice. And I will say one thing about the smaller goaltending pads that Kay Whitmore and the NHL have instituted, and I think it's good, but I think it has had zero effect on Jaro Halak, who had 2 inches cut off. I think he's moving better post to post than he did last year.
Darren, I know you watch a lot of hockey like we all do. Have you seen more 5-hole goals this year?
Actually, a couple have gone through Jaro, and he said it wouldn't have got in last year. There's been a couple, but so you've seen a few squeakers, but goalies will adjust. They'll tighten up their butterfly, but I like it so far.
Now a drive by Pietrangelo looking for a tip, and that was off the mark, and Hornquist back to center ice for Klein. And Klein rips it in. Bouwmeester up the wall. Tipped out by Stewart.
Stewart just took his eye off it for a split second. Otherwise, he's got it. He's able to get out of the zone easily.
And then Bouwmeester goes across to Pietrangelo. Averaging over 25 minutes a night, 8th most in the NHL for Pietrangelo. Blues are making a change here. He delays. Long stretch pass. Now Steen trying to squeeze by the defenseman Weber, who got enough of him to slow him down. And the puck elevated back to center ice.
Well, there's no question that the referees are allowing the defenseman an extra bump than they did before. And I don't mind that at all. Slowing down the pace just a little bit, as long as it's not elongated and it ends up being interference.
As Leopold has it near his own line. Now for Steen into open ice to Backus. Blues stay onside. Backus moves right up the gut. Oshie follows up. Hutton makes the save on that. Good chance there for Oshie. And Jones back to center ice. Smith gets it. That rocket wrist shot. High glove side, hit glass.
What a quick release. Heavy shot for not a lot of time spent on releasing it.
Just missed by about 3 inches over here.
Now the Predators back in with Ellis, former first-round pick. Floats one back of the goal with 2:40 left in the first period. Blues were concerned about the start, but they've had a good one. With a 1-0 lead, 15 shots on goal in the first period for the Blues. Now Sobotka picks his way into the zone, then lost the handle. And Ellis now ahead for Legwand. And Legwand chips it in. But Shattenkirk gets there quickly for the Blues. And stops back on the goal on the 19-year-old Forsberg to center. And that was intended for Tarasenko. And then scooped back in by Nystrom. Comes around to Tarasenko again. And under some pressure, he goes back to the corner for Shattenkirk. Quick outlet now for Schwartz to center. Tarasenko knocks it out of midair. He works in a shot and a stick save there by Hutton. Blues get the puck to the front, but that's broken up. Good back check, and Gostad, the former Sabre, angles one to the end boards. And then Pietrangelo leaves it. Good job by Brendan Morrow now for Roy. To an open wing.
I think the Blues have to get that puck out of the zone a little quicker. The Nashville Predators have a good, tenacious forecheck. They don't swing away from a hit. That's going to be an icing based on the hybrid, but they're finishing their checks on the Blues defensemen.
Well, in case you didn't know, the Redbirds are in the World Series, and Fox Sports Midwest continues with live post-game shows after every game. Join us for fan rallies outside Busch Stadium before each home game. It's another Red October, and we've got you covered on Fox Sports Midwest. Good luck, Cards, who are leading in Game 3.
I'm looking forward to going to Game 5 at Busch with my good pal Joe Ambrose. Going to be there. Going to watch a little baseball. Love it. Spent a lot of years in Chicago, Joe. Didn't get to see a lot of those playoff
No, you
games.
did not. Cards lead 2-0 after 2. But now you're in a baseball town, my friend.
You got it. Loving it.
1:26 left in the period. Morrow will take the face-off. Lost to the Nick Spaulding. As Bouwmeester pinches in and keeps it in. And Kevin Klein to his partner Ekholm, who played in the Swedish Elite League last year. As the Blues get it back in, Ekholm again. Trickles to center ice. Pollock. 30 minutes to go in the period. Now for Bouwmeester. Open is Morrow. Down his off wing and a wrist shot. And Hutton bobbled that a little bit, and then he stared it in the glove.
Well, Brendan Morrow and Derek Roy, two savvy veteran hockey players. They should complement each other extremely well. But for Brendan Morrow, that's a quick release that he has. I like the way he took that pass off his skate, used his stick as well. So Karam's off his skate to his stick, and then without making a mistake, with a player driving hard to the net and Derek Roy, he lets that go. He's got a really quick, sneaky release. You watch him in practice every day, and he catches the Blues goalies by surprise, scores a lot of goals. Got a good release.
Aaron, a few minutes ago, Pietrangelo going back for a puck. He took a heavy hit against the end boards. Was not on that last shift with Bouwmeester. Another icing here. I don't see him on the Blues bench. And we'll see if we can get a shot of the Blues bench and see. But I think that he missed a shift there.
Yeah, only 17 on the bench for the Blues. You are correct. And Ray Barilli is on the bench. So that's the good news. Ray Barilli, of course, the medical trainer for the Blues. The staff does a tremendous job, and maybe it's just a little maintenance thing.
Well, late in the period, maybe he just said, I'm going to go off and get ready for the second. We'll see. As Jones comes in, son of longtime NBAer Popeye Jones. And now the Blues with Steen has some room at center ice. They'll shovel it by the defenseman. Oshie goes in after it against Weber. And now back for Cullen, number 7. Blues get it. And a low shot never got on goal off the stick of Schwartz. And the puck lobbed to center ice. There's Pietrangelo. He must have been hiding on the bench. And it's to center, and then Pietrangelo in a collision with Forsberg, and it's back in the zone, and that will do it.
A good solid period all the way around. You get a power play goal, 17 shots on goal, although I would have to say that the toughest shots and the most quality shots came against Jaro Halak. He made some outstanding saves, difficult saves, to give this a 1-0 lead.
The lone goal by Steen on the power play at 5:27. Shots 17-8 for the Blues. After 20, St. Louis up by 1. Well, a good start for the Blues, who look to snap this 2-game winless streak. A 1-0 lead after 1, along with Bernie Federko and Darren Pang. John Kelly back here at Bridgestone Arena, and Alexander Steen. There's really not a whole lot more we can say. It just, he's on fire.
He is. Everything he touches turns to gold, but there's a lot of set plays that come with the kind of shot that he's got. Like, he's not just burying his head and firing at the net. When Chris Stewart's in front of the net, he's going short side and high so the goaltender can't see. We saw that for years with Nicholas Lidstrom and Thomas Holmstrom. These are set plays, but remember how it started. Sobotka inexplicably got booted out of the faceoff dot. So Schwartz comes in, and then when Schwartz comes in, he wants to tie up his man, as he told Bernie between periods. And then you've got support by Shattenkirk, a nice pass right there beyond the stick of Gausted. But it's a perfect screen by Stewart, and he knows that he's got to put that high to the short side. In the meantime, Yaroslav Halak was brilliant. I mean, absolutely outstanding. Post to post, made a lot of very difficult saves, some good quality shots. That one by Gausted down low, and he got a break as well because that Shea Weber blast went off the crossbar. Roman Polak blocked a couple in front. But I like the fact that the coaching staff said after last night, they went over the video on the plane. Only 7 chances against. He didn't get a lot of action against Vancouver. Couldn't be a difference maker. They said, let's go back at him again on back-to-back nights.
And a key matchup, as we discussed earlier, Seth Jones and Weber, they will see a lot of the Bacchus unit tonight.
Yeah, we expected that. For Seth Jones, it's highly impressive what he's doing. But you know that Shea Weber gets a lot of that physical matchups. But against this top line of Steen, Bacchus, and Oshie, 8 shifts at even strength, and 7 of those shifts, Weber and Jones were on the ice. And, of course, we're talking about even strength situations. And there is young Seth Jones, played for the Portland Winterhawks last year with Ty Ratty, a high offensive-minded prospect for the St. Louis Blues that's playing in Chicago with the Wolves.
And we just got word that Magnus Payarvi will not return with an upper body injury. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Well, that's really a terrible break for the Blues and Payarvi. I thought he had a really good start to this game. He got hit behind the net, a good hit along the boards, but it looked like he didn't get crunched on that play.
And we begin at full strength here in the second period. Jones and Weber on defense. Tipped in by Hendricks. And that goes back in the Blues goal. Leopold winds it around. Now comes the Roman Polak. And again, Hendricks blocks it. So Leopold tries the other side. Tipped out by Steen. And then floated back in. Polak now ahead for Bacchus. And the Blues play dump and chase here. In for Jaden Schwartz. Mike Fisher back to get it for the Predators, the longtime Senator. And that's tipped away by Wilson into the blue zone. And turning is Jay Bouwmeester. Long stretch pass. Stewart gets a piece of that one. And it goes back for Ekholm, but he had his pocket picked by Schwartz. Schwartz on the cycle for Stewart. And then Berglund against Kevin Klein. Who wins that battle? Berglund does. In the slot area, that's poked away, though, by Fisher. And the Blues regroup. Here they come again. Stewart trying to step in. That was knocked away. And Wilson up the boards. And then jabbed to the end boards by Hornquist. As Halak puts it on the glass. And Schwartz, a good play to get the puck to center. And then sent deep by Stewart.
Well, great play on the forecheck by Jaden Schwartz. He gets in there and sneaks in behind and steals the puck. Who was one of the best ever for the Blues? Pierre Turgeon? He was great at that.
Now Gabriel Bourque a pass across, and a slap shot and a save by Halak. On the drive by Cullen, and then the rebound was right there. Now Cullen again. Twisting and turning on Sobotka. Down low for Bourque. Now Cullen back of the goal. Knocked down but gets up in the slot. And a great defensive play by Sobotka. And now Tarasenko flies in. Tarasenko turns and fires it, and was a bit disoriented there as he turned and shot well wide of the goal. And then Sobotka gives Ellis a heavy hit down low. Puck
Yes, it
comes
was.
free.
Well, the Nashville coaches talked to Lane Lambert and Barry Trotz about a good save there by Halak, but about Vladdy Sobotka and the way he plays, and they were just marveling at what he did last night in the game against Vancouver. I mean, there's Phil Housley on the right, the former Blue defenseman. There's Barry Trotz, longest tenured coach in the National Hockey League and in all of sports. But when you look at when you just look at the way that Sobotka plays, every coach, every player in the other team, they're identifying exactly what he does, and he's not going to surprise anybody with that reverse hit or how strong he is on the puck.
Predators win the faceoff. Faceoffs were about even in the first period. And again, Nashville is the best faceoff team in the NHL, over 56%. Here's Hendricks trying to get it by Steen to the net. It comes in front. And where is it? It's under Halak, I assume, and we get the whistle.
Good play there. When those pucks are loose like that, it's tough to hold your ground and not get pushed back. Hendricks had a good game on that fourth line. Gets tripped up right there. Watch the puck underneath. Now he does have it clearly right there. So obviously if it caroms off the side of the net, there's wondering whether or not it's under him or not. And you see that the Nashville Predators players were on the other side thinking it was loose, but he had that clearly under the glove.
In the deep slot, a drive by Fisher, and that was blocked.
And I think it right pad again by Halak.
Was it? And that gets by Fisher. Blues on the road this year, 1-0-1. The Predators at home are 4-1-1. Fisher again a shot. This one trying to go high. Hits the glass. And now taken by Oshie. And Oshie to center ice. Puck bobbled on him. Now it goes back to Bolmeister. Then Backus. His pass too far for Oshie. And Hutton sets it up back of the goal for Jones. Jones, the son of Popeye Jones. Mentioned he played in Denver. And his dad, of course, at the old Pepsi Center, ran into Joe Sakic one day and said, "My son wants to play hockey. What does he need to do?" And Joe told Popeye he's got to learn to skate. And at 5 years old, that's what exactly Seth Jones did. I asked him this morning, "Did you ever consider basketball?" He said, "No. It's been hockey from day one."
Just gliding on those blades. And some guys just have that, but when you learn early on, you learn the edges, you learn how to skate, that gives you the foundation for playing the game. He's got all the tools to be a terrific one for a long period of time.
Shots this period 6-0 in favor of Nashville. And this goes down the ice. No icing here. Shattenkirk is chased by Nystrom. Now it is Legwand to the line. Klein comes in. Is met there by Schwartz. And it's loose back of the Blues goal. Grabbed by Shattenkirk. Oh, he gave it up. Forsberg with it. And that shot by Philip Forsberg was blocked after a bit of a giveaway there by the Blues.
And with that injury to Magnus Payarvi, now the line shuffling begins here for Ken Hitchcock and Gary Agnew.
Now back for Klein. Angles it in deep for Nystrom, the son of Bobby Nystrom. Ekholm to Klein. And again around the outside. And then Nystrom is bumped by Jackman.
It's a board game down low for Nashville.
Now back for Ekholm again. Back to the corner she goes. Centering pass, hit a skate. And a foot race here. Reeves against Forsberg. And Forsberg did a good job. Here the Predators back in. Klein with it. Klein in the slot. Trying to cut in. And around the goal he goes, but he can't center it. As the Blues have good coverage, and now it's off the glass and out. And then Jones gives it up. The Blues into the zone. Drop pass. Here's Stewart trying to feed Berglund. Steen was in front, never got there. And now Pietrangelo races in. Here's Pietrangelo off the boards for Berglund. That was broken up. And tossed off the glass by Jones, held in. Now Pietrangelo with it. Some room. And a shot hit a skate, goes to the far side. And Berglund wins another battle over there. On the cycle for Stewart. And then for Bolmeister to the front. Pietrangelo was wide open, but at the last second lost it. Now Steen turns for Stewart. Tips it out of midair. Back to Steen. And then to the line, Pietrangelo, a shot, and that was wide. Hutton has not seen a lot of rubber here in the second period. In front. And Stewart diving, can't get it on goal.
Good effort there. He just lost his balance, leaning backwards. And Klein did a good job of boxing him out.
And that is tipped in by Spaulding. 6 minutes gone in the second. Blues have not had a shot in the second period so far. And now Tarasenko trying to work it free in the corner. Tarasenko up the ice with Sobotka. And now Morrow. Here is Bourque back to center ice. And then tipped in by Craig Smith, their 4th round pick in 09. Puck comes out of the pile. Sobotka over there against Smith. And they battle for it. And then Bourque a shot, or a pass in front. Just wide. Leopold now for Morrow. And Morrow, nice feed to Tarasenko, but he couldn't handle it. Too hot to handle. And then Bartley back. There's Tarasenko to steal it from him. Tarasenko, he's a strong guy. And on his skates, keeps it working back on the goal.
What a play.
Tarasenko far side. Intended for Morrow. Back to Tarasenko. Back is parked in front. Tarasenko again. And waited a bit too long and forced to turn it over.
Yep. After a long shift, does a great job protecting the puck, supporting the play down low, and it's just that one split extra second cost him control of the puck.
And the Predators tip it out. Bouwmeester slides it right back up the middle. And now Bartley for Bourque. Blues break that up, and Jaden Schwartz flies in. Here's Schwartz with some room. Trying to cut to the front. He does. Oshie follows up. Can't get it. Back to Pietrangelo. The drive. Tipped. Score! It got between the legs. And the Blues take a 2-0 lead. That was definitely tipped on the way through.
Just snuck through the wickets of Carter Hutton. Thought he squeezed it down low, but you could just barely see the puck trickling over the goal line. And a great play in deep. With Magnus Paajarvi injured, the line shuffled up, but plenty of energy down low. It all started with Tarasenko. Tarasenko's shift was absolutely brilliant down low, tiring the defenseman for sure. Schwartz, he comes off the bench, and he comes up with a big play cutting into the net. He's on the left side now, maybe looking for a return play. But Pietrangelo sees an opening, and he's got 74 Oshie. Let's see if Oshie tips it. Yes, he does. It goes off Oshie's stick blade, and then whether or not Backus gets it after that, I'm not sure. But clearly, TJ Oshie has that first redirection. And we see it from the overhead. It's already been redeflected now, and it's TJ Oshie's goal. For sure. For all you fantasy hockey keepers out there, David Backus though in front of the net. Both goals by the Blues, net front presence. One Stewart, and the next one Backus.
It will be Oshie's 2nd of the year. His other goal came on opening night. It was the game winner against Nashville. There are the Predators in. And a backhander by Fisher did not get through. Wilson to the line. Weber. And then return feed to Colin Wilson on the cycle. Fisher tips one to the corner. Jackman steps up, taken down by Hornquist. As they've had their battles over the year. And now it's back of the Blues goal. Moved around by Shattenkirk. Seth Jones trying to spin away from the check. That was Stewart on him. And Stewart gets it out. The Blues would have had a 2-on-1. Now they do. Esteen comes into Stewart. He was behind the defense, but that was a hot pass. And now Stewart was tripped up, and he goes hard into the inboards, and he's hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't go down. He doesn't go down easily, or does he? Embellish plays like that? And Hornquist is going over towards him, but clearly this little subtle jab from behind causes Stewart to be off balance and going rear end first. Didn't it look like that? He kind of went back first into the boards. The hard pass, and here's the push right there. And you can see Stewart's trying to spread his legs and brace himself for protection like that, and instead he gets shoved right into it hard.
Yeah, it did appear he went back first into the boards, and we certainly hope that he is okay. The Blues have scored to take a 2-0 lead, and we'll hear from Ken Hitchcock on the other side of this break.
Well, power play for the Blues. They're 1 for 1 so far, and the offensive zone face-off the key. Hornquist goes in for boarding. Likely doesn't think there was much to the play, but you see the stopping and now the position right there. A leg between, an extension of the hands, a dangerous play, and Chris Stewart goes in there back first. So obviously it's a vulnerable area. He's a big boy. It's a lot of weight going into the boards like that to be a 2-minute power play for the Blues.
And the Blues 1 for 1 tonight. As Steen scored the power play goal, Oshie gets the last one from Pietrangelo at 7:34. And now Berglund on the faceoff against Gostad. He's very good in the circle. But Berglund wins it. Back to the line for Pietrangelo. Hands it to Oshie, and a shot hits something, goes to the corner. And then Bouwmeester now for Berglund. Back to the line. Here's Pietrangelo. Almost lost it. Now it's recovered by Oshie for Bouwmeester. One-timer, Berglund, a drive, and that's tipped, I think, by Backes. And it goes out of play.
Good movement there by Alex Pietrangelo. Had an assist on that last goal by Oshie. Really getting around the ice. He's a hard target because of his mobility and movement. And it sets up a good one-timer by Patrick Berglund. Bouwmeester sets it up from the middle of the ice. See, Pietrangelo's already going to the near pipe, going to the post right there. Backes is in front of the net. Power play unit on sync for sure.
And the Blues win another face-off. Steen at the line. He's bothered there by Nystrom. The puck goes deep as Mattias Ekholm turns, and he fires it all the way down.
It's a unique power play set up here, too, with Schwartz and Sobotka, and Brendan Morrow will be the one that's going to go in front of the net.
Here the Blues, they enter the zone with some speed. Sobotka fires a shot, and that was blocked by Nystrom, I believe. And then Sobotka down low, trying to move it to Schwartz. Nystrom there, hounded from behind by Jaden Schwartz, and the Blues keep it in the offensive zone. On this power play now for Morrow. He ducks under a check. That was Klein. Now it goes to Ekholm, but can't get a lot on that one, and it's enough, though, to get to center. And Nystrom up the ice, but late on his shift, all he can do is dump it in deep.
I had to be out of gas there, didn't he? That was a good shift by Nystrom.
45 to go in the Blues power play. They lead here 2-0. Now Oshie has some room into the zone. Bothered from behind by Seth Jones, and then Bouwmeester's pass across comes to center.
It's a tough pass to make, isn't it?
Yeah, on the backhand,
on the
at
back
the line.
Blind,
And
going through the middle.
Right. And now Berglund comes in for the Blues. A little shake and bake move there. Berglund back for Pietrangelo. He deals it back to Berglund. And he waits, and a shot, and it got through, and a save by Hutton. That's a good shot by Berglund with a screen from Backes.
Yeah, good net front presence there. And if you're a right-hand shot, you're maybe going high to the glove side. A left-hand shot, there's not much angle when you bring that shot into your feet, into your skates with Backes right there, because you're trying not to hit Backes, you're trying to go for the pipe. Here's a good play by Pietrangelo, playing it back to Berglund. Berglund, this is a spot where Berglund feels comfortable. He's a shooter of the puck more than a distributor, and that was a pretty lean, wicked wrister right there, and a good save by Carter Hutton.
And 11 to go in the power play. As Roy steps in against Matt Cullen. Cullen wins it. And then Jones back of the goal for Weber, off the boards and down. And that will do it. As Hornquist is back. So the Blues 1 for 2 tonight. And Roy was offside, a delayed offside here. Blues goals from Steen and Oshie.
And no Magnus Payarvi left after the first period. Looked like he took a hit deep in the offensive zone. And now Chris Stewart.
He has gone to the Blues locker room as Halak puts it on the dasher. Comes around, knocked down by Nystrom. But Roy bothered him, and then stolen there by Reeves. And Ryan Reeves pokes it in.
Good play.
Against Dallas. Back on the line, Leopold is wide open. Leopold, a drive. That was tipped, maybe by Reeves. And that went to the corner.
Reeves has been matched up against the smaller Ryan Ellis. A good offensive-minded player with the puck, but a smaller guy in the defensive zone. And Reeves has been a good matchup there. He's won a lot of puck battles in tight.
Now Ellis winds it around the puck at the line, does squirt to center, and handled by Leopold.
And you're going to see, as this game goes on now, you're going to see a lot more of Ryan Reeves, a lot more of Brendan Morrow.
Now tipped up the middle, Sobotka gets free to Schwartz, shoots, he scores! Jaden Schwartz! And the Blues take a 3-0 lead.
And what a play by Sobotka. Holy jumping, what a pass that is. He buys some time on the left, he waits for the D to go to him, and that opens it up for Schwartz. And Schwartz, the left-hand shot, has got a wicked snapper. He's not going to miss from there. Wicked shot. And the Schwartz is with him tonight. What a play this is. Leopold gets it set up with a pass, one-touch pass there, and here's the play by Sobotka. He waits for the defenseman, Bartley, to commit, and once he does that, keep your eye on the defenseman. Committing right there, and that leaves the open lane for Schwartz to one-time it. Terrific play all the way around.
That's his first goal in 7 games, second of the year. His other came against Florida in that 7-0 win. And an icing call here against the Blues, who lead 3-0.
Sobotka gets elevated prior to the game based on his play. He deserved it. As Ken Hitchcock said, he's like a 6th man in basketball. He's climbing up the ladder. He's earned the right. And the play starts with the defenseman Leopold, stretch pass, line change by Nashville. And the defenseman, in my opinion, I would want that defenseman staying a little bit more in the middle and not overcommitting. That allowed Sobotka to buy time and feed it over for the one-timer.
And the goal at 11:36. Here's a shot off the back of the goal. May have hit the outside of the goal post there. And then floated down the ice by Oshie. Picked up now by Steen. Here he comes. Steen moves in. A shot blocked by Weber. And it comes free for Oshie. Against Seth Jones to the line again. Jackman, a shot tipped by Backus. And that's off the end boards. And the puck around. Stewart is back. That's great news for the Blues. Nashville had a bit of a push in the first 7-8 minutes of this period. But since that second goal, it's been all Blues. And now they lead 3-0.
Yeah, the one area that the Nashville Predators have done a good job in the offensive zone is winning and maintaining control in the offensive zone. Fisher had the one wicked shot when it was a 2-0 game, and a great save by Halak. And as these two teams get together, there's Stewart.
Yeah,
Stewart's
he's upset.
Yeah,
he's upset.
Well, look who he's got. Look who's there, Hornquist. You see, there's the reason for the guys in the white going over to Hornquist is because that hit on Stewart. And that's how the game gets policed. You take care of it when you get on the ice. You don't like the hit, you take care of it yourself. And I wouldn't say that it was one of those mean, vicious kind of plays, but it's one of those subtle, dangerous plays in the game that the player has no way to defend himself, and Stewart's heading off again.
Hitch, you said before the game that more tempo and better engagement would get you some offense. Is that what's happening out here?
Well, we just got to keep going. We're playing awful well. We're down a few forwards, but we'll just got to keep going. We got to keep it 5-on-5 and just keep our competitive level up. As soon as it drops, they're in our zone and we're buried. When we keep it up, we're in their zone. So that's the way we got to play.
Thanks, Hitch.
And the coach knows that this Predator club is certainly capable of coming back. During an opening night, the Blues had a 3-0 lead, and the Predators closed within 1 goal before the Blues won 4-2.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But here's what happened on that last play. There's that shove from behind, an awkward play. Stewart goes in hard. And this is why the Blues are a different team, too. Stewart comes right at it, and he's on the ice, and he wants a piece of Hornquist for what happened with that push. Brendan Morrow's right there in the middle of it as well. And there's Barrett Jackman as well on the left, who's already had a scrap in this game. Hornquist in the box.
And the Blues picked up the extra minor. Stewart got a double minor.
Yeah, cross-checking in, roughing they called on that play.
So the Predators with their second power play. Here is Jones. He moves in. Halak made a good body save. Good position there. And it comes free for Steen. And he gets it back to center ice. Here comes David Backus. Kills some time in the offensive zone. And he is pushed from behind by Jones. Predators 0 for 1 tonight. And on the year, just over 17%. Already 40 seconds gone on the power play. Center ice now to Legwand. And then for Fisher, back for Legwand. Back to the line for Weber and then to Jones. He winds it all the way around. Polak chipped it by Legwand. It's up in the air. And a bouncing puck taken by Oshie. And he snaps it down the ice.
Good start to the penalty kill for the Blues, keeping the puck in deep, led by Steen and Backus. And now Seth Jones has made a couple of really good outlet passes to get up the ice.
And now the Predators move into the zone. Cullen a shot. Glove save, or just missed the glove, and taken by Schwartz, and he'll ice it. 35 left in the minor, being served by Ryan Reeves. After tonight, the Blues come home, and they will host Winnipeg on Tuesday. These Predators go on a 7-game road trip, starting in Phoenix next week.
7
now
days.
The puck back of the goal.
7 games, 17 days, no back-to-backers, start in the West, end up in the East.
That's a lot of off days on the road. Now 5 to go in the power play for Nashville. Here comes Cullen. In for Smith. Drop pass. But they were going for a change. Reeves out of the box, and the Blues have numbers into the zone. It's Steen. Steen to Backus. Oh, he was hooked at the last second. And a penalty called against Nashville. And that is what you would call a good penalty to take, because Backus was wide open.
A bad drop pass leads to 2 Nashville Predator players there on the bench. They can't come on, otherwise there'll be too many men on the ice. Now you've got an odd man break with Backus driving hard. Good pass there by Steen, who gets taken down. A slash by Hendricks, who eliminates a quality scoring chance. And Barry Trotz's squad is back to being shorthanded. The Blues have now had, this is the 3rd power play. Steen has scored on the power play, his 9th goal of the year.
By the way, Stewart, we mentioned he had a double minor. He also picked up a 10-minute misconduct.
He did, didn't he?
And that's why he went to the Blues locker room.
And that's why Ryan Reeves sat in the box to take that spot in there.
So the Blues on the power play.
Late in the period too, John. This is a chance to really put the dagger in here.
1 for 2 tonight. And leading 3-0. Pietrangelo, Bouwmeester back on defense. Up front, Oshie, Backus, and Alexander Steen, or rather Berglund, pardon me, as the puck is into the zone and then fired all the way down by Jones. It's Pietrangelo back for St. Louis. Predators line up in the line. The Blues come in on the right side with Bouwmeester. Trying to slide it through for Roy. And Roy taken out. Now picked up by Oshie. He was knocked down. And the Predators take over, and it's iced by Nystrom. With a minute gone in the Blues power play. And Roy plays it back for Pietrangelo. Now center ice to Steen. Here's Morrow. His pass. Hit a stick, goes to the Preds. And Klein again will pick an opening.
And a tough break there for Morrow. He's doing the right thing, and it just goes off the shaft of the stick and out of play for the Blues. Nothing so far established in the offensive zone. They can't even get it in. That's been the tough part here.
Look out here. Shattenkirk, the last man back. Now on the wing for Steen, and he's forced back.
It's all about entries, isn't it? But it's all, the key is winning that face-off when the power play starts in the offensive zone.
Predators had killed 21 in a row before the Blues scored that power play goal in the first period. And Weber launches one off the glass and all the way down. Kicked away by Halak with 10 to go in the power play. Now Morrow in for Sabotka. And he waits. Snaps it back to Pietrangelo. A shot, and that's tipped just wide. And then Morrow works down low. Hendricks is back, so the Blues are 1 for 3. And then Bork was run down by Sabotka as he gets it deep. And the puck played around for Pietrangelo with 2:45 to go in the period. And that's broken up and moved back in the Blue zone. Pietrangelo reverses for Bouwmeester.
Smart reverse there, on good communication between those two.
And then Halak alertly out of the goal for Schwartz. That's knocked out of midair by Smith. And his turnaround shot is tipped off the glass.
Getting a little cute inside the defensive zone for the Blues, and those turnovers, you don't want that to bite you late in the period.
And it goes back in the Blue zone again. They're down 2 forwards here for the last couple of minutes of the period.
You know, when I talked to Hitch on the bench there, he was a little bit concerned, too, about the intensity level coming down after the Blues scored that 3rd goal. So we'll have to watch for that.
Yeah, and without 2 men, 2 as well, Bernie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think he probably worries less about that, Penger.
Yeah.
I mean, he told us yesterday that, you know, you could probably get away with 10 forwards in the situations that you're playing in right now. So,
yeah.
And the good news is only 1 period left.
And 1:40 left in this period. Here comes Laguan, out muscles the Blues defenseman Leopold. A centering pass, but now it's Steen back to get it. And Alexander Steen goes for a skate, and he flies back to center ice. 3-on-3, little drag move there by Steen. And then Weber back of the goal. That hit a body. David Backus trying to center one. Comes to Ryan Reeves. And it bounced on Leopold, and the Blues have to tag up and come to center ice. Now Leopold ahead. Smacked back in there by Backes. Shots in the game, 21-15 for the Blues, who lead 3-0. Now it's Fisher. And Fisher trying to slide it through. Good defensive play by Shattenkirk. Inside a minute now in the second period. As Ekholm turns and gets it on to Wilson. The former first rounder, Colin Wilson. And across for Fisher. That shot or pass was well wide. And held in at the line by Wilson. Now to Klein. Winds up, and that shot was blocked in the slot. And again, the Blues play it back to center ice. And 4 players converge. Puck comes free for Tarasenko. And a little spin move there by Tarasenko. Trying to move it on to Morrow. Ekholm back the other way for Nashville. And then launched in by Wilson. That's turned to the corner by Halak. Move back of the goal for Pietrangelo. Look out. Saw a man coming. That was Hendricks. Puck comes up the boards. And another penalty called. The puck is in, no goal. Penalty's going to be called, I think, on the Predators.
Yeah, Gostin a high stick and minor behind the net. So once Nashville had possession of the puck, it was blown dead. Otherwise, Hendricks parked himself right in front of Jaro Halak. But the penalty from behind, it may end up being a boarding call, and it's Shattenkirk, 22 in the white, right there. A boarding call, whistle there. Whistle goes, fans celebrate, but clearly a boarding call on Shattenkirk from behind, and that nullifies the play.
And that is the end of the period. I thought there might have been a couple of seconds left in the clock.
I'm sure they'll look at that and add 5 seconds, 4 seconds to it. They have a chance to have an offensive zone face-off. Maybe have time for a shot on goal. Depends on what. Oh, they only put 1.4. But clearly a boarding call there by Gosted. He sees the numbers, and he's a big, strong man, and he just shoves Shattenkirk into the glass. We'll listen to the call here. Dan O'Halloran calls no goal. The Blues have gone to the locker room.
Well, now they put 1.4 seconds on the clock. So time for a quick drive.
Yep.
We'll try and get it back to Jackman. His back is on the faceoff.
Pollock and Jackman on the power play. Everybody went to the locker room. That'd be great if they scored a goal. 2.1 seconds. Is going to be enough time here?
Absolutely.
See if Jackman could score one for his son Caden, who celebrated his 4th birthday there yesterday.
It's Backes against Leguan. And Leguan wins it. That will do it as far as the second. The Blues power play will carry over into the third period. And a good second for the Blues, who add to the lead. Goals from Oshie and Schwartz in the middle frame. We played 2 here in Nashville, and the Blues lead 3-0.
You are looking at the world famous Tootsies. How many great artists develop their craft right there at that high-end bar on Broadway Street in downtown Nashville. In the meantime, time now for some high-speed shots brought to you by Charter. Great speed to the net there by Jaden Schwartz, who has a goal in this game. Pietrangelo ends up firing it, and the forward Oshie gets it off the tip of his blade and in the net. And what a play by Vladdy Sobotka. Holy jumping, just another outstanding game as we begin the third.
And the Blues begin the third on the power play.
And news that Chris Stewart will not return. Upper body injury, the same as, or not the same injury, but the same upper body as Big Harvey.
Yeah,
sorry.
Different upper body, different guy. So Gostad in the box for boarding. And the Blues on the power play. Center ice for Oshie. Stripped of the puck there by Nystrom. And then played by Seth Jones. That goes off a stick out of play, and we'll get a face-off back at center ice.
I think the Blues get a little frustrated with that transition through the neutral zone as we update the injuries so far. Chris Stewart, who played real well last night, generated a lot of chances on the ice, will not return after that push shove from behind by Patrick Hornquist.
So the Blues down to 10 forwards here in the third period. They control the faceoff. Nashville winning the faceoff battle tonight, 59% after 2. Shattenkirk right up the gut. He'll chip it and chase it.
Being offside there with Sobotka on the far side.
Now it comes to Sobotka, bouncing puck though. And a race for it. The Predators get it, short-handed chance, and they score. Spaulding with a beauty, a short-handed goal to make it 3-1.
Funny how little plays, little mistakes get magnified. And the entry into the zone, the bouncing puck, not much you can do there. It's just a bouncing puck. But it starts with the entry, a little sloppy. Spaulding takes advantage. He's got a player on him in Leopold. And it's a tough save for a goalie. A left-hand shot brings it towards the middle, goes back against the grain, or at least straight ahead to the stick side. And I think that went right between the arm of the goaltender, Jaro Halak.
And that's the first short-handed goal allowed by the Blues. And the second scored this year by Nashville. And the goal at 52 seconds.
First goal of the season from Nick Spaulding.
And does that change the complexion of this game? Predators clear it down the ice. Spaulding's first. And first goal in 10 games back to last year.
Well, it's kind of like that you can't give a home team. You know, that's because a 3-1 lead is a little bit more precarious. You've got to continue now to keep playing on your toes. You don't want to be on your heels, but you give up a shorthanded goal. That sucks a lot of life out of you.
That's such a tough break, too, though, Pang.
Yeah.
With Sobotka's, the puck bounces, and he's flat-footed. There's really nothing he could do, and that puck did go right under the arm of the Halak because the puck was bouncing. I don't think Spaulding got all of it.
No.
And it was just the off-speed pitch that went by him.
Matthias Ekholm gets the lone assist on the goal. Now the Blues get it back to Bouwmeester. He walks in, and a pretty good chance there was blocked. And now Gostad is back. Blues get it to Steen to drive, and that just missed through a screen. And then Pietrangelo a shot. That was off a leg in front. So the Blues don't score on the power play and give up a short-handed goal.
Heck of a pass by Steen back to the defenseman Bouwmeester. I think Bouwmeester might have waited just a little bit too long, and that shot got blocked in front.
Now the Blues play it back for Bouwmeester up the boards for Steen. And recovered by Colin Wilson. Here he comes into the Blues zone. Pulls up in the circle. Back to Klein and then to Wilson. In the slot to Hornquist. Didn't get a shot away. And now Pietrangelo races over for the Blues. Back to his partner Bouwmeester.
Good calmness and patience there by Pietrangelo. Buy a little bit of time, settle it down. Knowing the forwards might need a little bit of a change, so he goes back to his partner Bouwmeester.
Now the Predators get the puck to center ice. Here's Laiguan down his off wing. Drops it off. Ellis comes in. Laiguan to the slot. Look out, a shot. Hornquist gets another chance, and that was blocked. I don't think it got on goal. And now Laiguan again. Can't knock it down back of the goal. To the line, Ellis a shot. That was nowhere near the Blues goal. And then Roman Polak a hit there on Nystrom. The Blues get it. And here's Tarasenko on for Sobotka. That shot hit a leg, goes wide. And now taken by Victor Bartley back of the goal.
You have to wonder about the energy level, and you know that Barry Trotz of Nashville is telling his players that keep your foot on the pedal. They're without two players. They played last night in a tough game. And see if they can't wear them down. It's imperative for the Blues to make sure that they just keep getting the puck north and don't turn it over at the lines.
There are the Predators back in the zone. Ekholm. And the rookie defenseman plays it back of the goal. Leopold there. As 5 players battle for it. Now Leopold comes up with it on the backhand. That's a tricky play, and he does a good job to elevate it, but it goes all the way down. And this will be an icing call.
Well, on the goal scored by Barry Trotz's Nashville Predators, the first entry into the zone was a struggle, and then the puck comes out, and that's what Bernie's talking about. That's an unlucky break. A lot of times you say to yourself, well, if it's bouncing and you're in doubt, get a glove on it, like a shortstop. Don't just rely on the glove, but Vladimir Sobotka, not a happy camper for sure. Not a happy camper. And he's going to want to make amends for that, even though it's just an unlucky break.
And a face-off here. Gostad gets it from Berglund. A shot from the line, a save. Rebound was loose in front after Jones had it knocked away by Halak, and now Seth Jones back in his own zone.
Does Jones not look like a man in this league already?
At 19. And now Steen on the far side gets some help there from Oshie. Nice little head fake move at center. Here's Oshie in. Snaps a shot and a pad save by the goaltender Carter Hutton. Now back as a drive and a right pad save by Hutton. And Oshie put the rebound wide. Now Steen scores again from behind the goal. His second tonight and 10th of the year for Steen.
He just banked it. Must have saw an opening there on the right leg and inside the post after Hutton made a terrific save on David Backes' one-timer with the right pad. And look at the Blues. They just go right to center ice and line up for the face-off. This one just goes right off the leg. Hutton can't get tied up. And Steiner, he sniffs this one out. Alexander Steen sees the opening. He's got TJ Oshie there as well. And that's a big break after the Nashville Predators were putting on some pressure.
Look out here. Smith back in and a great glove save by Jaro Halak. On Craig Smith, it was in cold turkey.
Craig Smith's got 2 goals and 5 helpers, 7 points, and he's a plus player. He's got good hands. And he, after the Blues turn it over to Gabriel Bourque, backhand, forehand, high glove. What a terrific save by Halak. I mean, otherwise the momentum just switches back again. And Nashville thinks that they can come, to within 1 by making it 4-2, and then you think you're in the game, make it 4-3, and you're back into it.
Yeah, the Blues don't want to be trading scoring chances here. They got to get back to tight defense.
Well, they have their 3-goal lead again. Thanks to Steen's second tonight, 10th of the year. Now the puck in front, and a shot just wide, I think by Bourque. And it's off the back of the goal. Jaro reaches back. That was Gabriel Bourque, who had another grade A chance.
Well, we talked about the best line, for Nashville. I mean, it's led by the veteran Cullen, who's done a great job as a veteran. He talks a lot to Gabriel Bourque. He keeps Smith in the game. Smith has got some high-end skill, and now he's become a much more tenacious player. And with hands like Smith, he's dangerous. I mean, he's got quick release. And same with Bourque. But what a play in tight that ends up being.
So Steen's 10th at 4:37. Makes it 4-1. Blues control the faceoff. Bouwmeester on to center ice. Tipped along by Morrow. Now for Tarasenko. And a rocket of a shot. That was high and just over the goal. Now Tarasenko again. Slides it through to Morrow. And then to Sobotka, the drive, and a stick save there by Hutton. Just got a piece of that one. And the Predators get it down the ice. No icing here. Pietrangelo run down from behind by Legwand and squirts in front. Bouwmeester in the right spot. Quick pass ahead for Tarasenko. And he gets it in. Oshie and Backes get the assist on that last goal by Steen. So that top line continues to do major damage. Shattenkirk turning to the Blues. Now to Berglund at center ice. Berglund in for Reeves. He's chased by Smith. Good job by Reeves. Now back to the corner for Berglund. And then Berglund works off the wall. Hands it on to Schwartz. Stops against Fischer. Now Schwartz a shot. That's blocked by Hutton. Schwartz has it again. He scored in the second period. And then back to Jackman. Here's Reeves again down low for the Blues. Reeves trying to get free from his check. Good shift here by the Blues. Berglund a shot, and that was blocked in front by Klein. And the Predators finally get it back. Shots in the game 25-20 for the Blues, who lead 4-1. No icing here. Halak got a piece of it. Now played by Jackman up the boards. And then Oshie turns back. And his pass across. Spalling there. Now to Gostad. Hendricks winds up and a shot. And I think Halak got his arm on that one. And Backes marches back to center ice for the Blues. For Steen. 3-on-3. Steen twists away from Jones. And then taken to the end boards by Jones. But the loose puck picked up by Backes. And then on the cycle again for Steen. Steen trying to get away.
Great footwork, too, huh? Tremendous balance. He's battling Seth Jones. He's using his skates to get the puck back to his stick and does so in one quick motion.
As Oshie tips this one back of the goal. First guy back is Ryan Ellis, their first-round pick in 2009. Now to Bartley, tipped in. Bouwmeester has some room, and he goes for a skate chase by Cullen. And Bouwmeester, good play to center. What a pass now to Roy. In with Sobotka. Derek Roy, a shot. He scores! Derek Roy! His third this year. The Blues take a 5-1 lead.
How about that for a wicked little wrister by Derek Roy? Brings it into his feet, changes the angle a little bit, and a crafty shot right there, going high to the blocker side on the far side for his third goal. Terrific shot. What a play by Tarasenko. Now with speed. Sobotka's driving hard to the net. Bork takes him. It's one-on-one for the shot, and it's one certainly the goalie wants back, but it is a crafty little wrister right there. Hutton is sliding towards his right. He must have thought it was going wide, and it's under the bar and in the net. A perfect shot.
His first goal in 5 games, third of the year, and it comes at 7:48. And the Predators are going to change goalies. For the second time this year, the Blues have chased their starter, and Magnus Hellberg will appear in the NHL for the first time in his career. 1-2 this year in the American League with Milwaukee. So Hellberg takes over. And that shot by Ekholm goes out of play. And we get a whistle. Roy's third at 7:48 has the Blues up 5-1.
Well, a really gritty performance without two regulars in Payarvi and Stewart. And what a play by Tarasenko. He's just getting better and better. He's had an excellent game. And here's the rush by Roy. Just snaps it under the bar and in. And the unique thing here, now if we can stop it here, normally the players go all the way, sorry about that, the players go all the way over there and they end up going for high fives. The Blues players, they're lining up at center ice. They're changing the way they do things. This conversation's been had. I know Kelly Chase had a talk with a couple of the players, and I know that Paul Coffey, I ran into him the other day. He coaches a minor midget AAA team, and he says, we don't do that. Go high five in the bench. We're done with that. I told my kids, don't do that. Just go to center ice and act like you've been there before. Pretty cool, huh?
I would totally agree with that.
Isn't that?
I like what you said there. Act like you've done that before.
Yep.
And I mean, you got a 5-1 lead here right now, and you're not rubbing it in or anything. Let's just go back to get business. You still got lots of time to work at.
See Chaser on the plane last night, Bernie going back to the boys. No more of that.
By the way, Hellberg has taken over in goal. A second-round pick in 2011. Played last year in Milwaukee and with Cincinnati in the East Coast League, but it's his first ever appearance in the NHL.
Well, it's a good opportunity for them to just get him in the net, give him that experience.
Tarasenko and Bouwmeester get the assist on that last goal by Roy. Really two good passes on that goal. Bouwmeester from in deep, and then Tarasenko. A really nifty pass at his own line. And it's 5-1 St. Louis. And the Predators lob it down the boards. And that will be an icing call against Nashville. Well, get your season tickets now for SLU Billiken basketball. The Bills, of course, coming off back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances. And season tickets for all 18 home games at Chaffetz start at $180. You can buy online at slubillikens.com or call 314-977-4SLU. Well, I guess in watching these two games tonight and last night, the old back-to-back thing is overrated, isn't it? And a shot by Pietrangelo. I mean, how do you figure? The Blues were off a week last night, and Vancouver had played the night before, and the Blues, it took them a while to get going, and tonight it's been all St. Louis with Nashville the rested team.
Yeah, I mean, and Nashville's had a lot more chances than this score indicates. But for the Blues, how about scoring 5 goals tonight? First time in Nashville since 1999. 1999. Great Al McGinnis was still playing.
Uncharacteristic for Barry Trotz' team to give up that many goals.
That
Very uncharacteristic.
So 9 goals against in the 2 games so far.
Well, the Blues chased Rainey on opening night after he allowed 3 on 6 shots. Here is Bouwmeester. And to the inboards now for Tarasenko.
I like Tarasenko's game.
He's had 2 assists tonight. Now it's dealt back by Sobotka for Pietrangelo. A drive, and that was just wide, looking for a tip. And now Sobotka again. And that wrist shot high. Bounces to the slot. And swept to center by Ekholm with 9:35 left in the third period. And the Blues with a 5-1 lead. Now Pietrangelo. He's got plenty of room at center ice. Good job by Berglund to stay on side. Now Pietrangelo trying to flip it away from Jones, back of the goal for Schwartz. And Jaden Schwartz, who had a goal in the second, back for Jackman. And then funneled all the way around the inboards. Here's Jones now for Weber. And Weber to center ice. Spaulding, who has scored their only goal. That's broken up by the Blues. Good job by Shattenkirk. And then Brendan Morrow gets it. And I think this will be an icing call. It is, as he was on his own side of center ice.
A tough play there for Brendan Morrow. He tried to reverse the flow going backhand saucer. And then it got picked off, and then he turned around maybe in frustration and just fired it down, and it goes for icing. So the veteran Brendan Morrow, and he brings a lot to the table, though. Boy, there's been some situations this year where he's taken a player's side on the bench and made sure that he keeps himself in the game. He just has a lot of those intangibles that he'll bring every single night that you don't notice on the ice.
And the draw won by Nashville. Klein sends it around. Jackman comes over there, and Jackman to center ice for Schwartz. Chops it in and goes off on a line change. And Kevin Klein, their second round pick in 03, to Legwand. Legwand to Hornquist. In the circle, a shot. And again, that's blocked. It may have hit the back of the leg of Pollock. And Steen turns to center ice to Backus. Return pass for Steen. And then Oshie on the forecheck. Battles with Ekholm. Centering pass. Steen was in the area, but it was just off his stick. And now back to center ice. And Hornquist will backhand one in behind the Blues goal. Leopold lost a look out. A shot and a save by Halak. As Fisher was wide open in front of the Blues goal after a bit of a turnover. And now Weber has it. In for Nystrom. That shot blocked. Predators have had 21 shots, but Darren, easily they have had,
high-end quality.
I'd say 10 grade A chances.
I totally
if
agree.
not more.
I totally agree with you. They get their chances, not on the little jam plays. They get their chances in the high slot, the third man up high. And those are tricky ones. That's going to be a tripping call right there.
Yeah, Tarasenko was upended. And the Blues will go back on the power play. 5-1, the Blues in the lead.
Well, let's update you with the NHL goal-scoring leaders. And 10 goals by Alexander Steen. What a start. Ovechkin 10. And we take a look again at Steen. Keep firing the puck, Alexander Steen, because they're going in. A great wrist shot. He's always possessed that, really hitting the net, finding its mark a lot more. This one of those opportunistic plays. He banks it off a goalie. He feels the goalie's out of position. He's got Oshie there as well. So if it even jams loose, he's got Oshie on the doorstep and ends up banking in on the goalie of Carter Hutton, who's not, who's not in the game now. He's being pulled.
He was trying to do that too, Panger. We all know that.
Yeah.
Yes, sirree.
You know, he's had only one hat trick in his career, Bernie. January 4th, 2007 against Boston. So see if he can bang home another one.
And the Blues on the power play. Weber's gone for tripping at 12:30. Backus back to Pietrangelo. He scores! Alex Pietrangelo! And a power play goal makes it 6-1.
Steen was right in front of the net. Puck was bobbling. Pietrangelo got a lot on it. Pietrangelo has one assist in this game. I believe it's going to be his. But if Steen's in front of the net and nibbles off him, that would be his second career hat trick. Bouwmeester makes a pass to Backus, who's usually in front of the net, and he's not there yet. This one might have cleanly gone in. Hard to tell from that angle. Steen certainly doesn't celebrate as if it's his. but he's in there and distracts the goaltender. Looked like it just went right between his legs. Goalie was screened, and it is a 6-1 Blues lead.
And what's amazing, only the second defenseman to score, guys, this year.
Yeah,
Good
Roman,
point.
35 goals now, and only 2 by defense.
Roman Polak, and now Pietrangelo, who gets his first goal in 33 games back to last year. Another power play goal makes it 6-1. And the goaltender, Hellberg, never saw that shot. He never moved.
No, he didn't. I think the Blues have done a marvelous job of getting guys in front of the net. I mean, it's a different guys in front of the net formation for the Blues. It's smart. They work on it. They know their positioning. On Bernie, it's not like just going there. I mean, Stewart and Backus have done an exceptional job this year on the power play in front of the net.
Well, they practice it an awful lot.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, Gary Agnew spends a lot of time on that power play with them, and they know exactly what they're supposed to do, and they each know their own role out here when they're on the power play. So it's just it's pretty to watch it when they've got it going. I mean, the power play has been very good tonight, and that's why we're winning a hockey game on the road.
Yeah, and that puck was bobbling, wasn't it? It bounced up, and then see it bouncing, and then kind of like a little half volley, and it's dropping like you read about right there, and right through the legs. Great angles, guys. Our staff doing a great job here in Nashville. The lone television game. The Nashville Predators not televising this one. They've got the radio only.
And that came awful close to hitting Steiner, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whew.
Did it ever.
Dumped in by Sobotka. Pietrangelo almost picked that puck out of midair. Great hand-eye coordination. It's 6-1 Blues.
Our BMO Harris Bank highlight of the game right here. Leopold takes the hit to make a play. There's been some physical stuff right there. Oshie, Jackman stands up right there on Hendricks, and oh my goodness, did he ever get him on the beak? And that was obviously in retaliation for the hit earlier that did eventually knock Stewart out of the game. Stewart came back, had that one shift, got the man that knocked him out with that push from behind.
Patrick Hornquist.
Did that visor crack on that shot?
It got pushed down a little bit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's all fogged up, that's for sure.
5:40 left here in the third period. There's Weber. Rolls one to the corner. Jackman. And then for Sobotka, long feed intended for Tarasenko. And then Jones steps up and back in it goes. Blues are home Tuesday to the Winnipeg Jets. A team that came from behind last week to beat the Blues in a shootout when the Blues had a 3-1 lead. Then it's on to the road again for 3 games in a row starting November 1st in Florida. Good to get back in the Eastern Conference again, gentlemen. Wouldn't you agree after not playing the East last year?
Yeah.
You'll see every team home and away this year.
Yep, I like that. I certainly like going to Florida, coming up in a week and spending a day in Tampa.
Well, you're always thinking of golf, so we know that.
But it's so good for the fans to be able to see. There's a lot of players, great players all over this league, and a lot of times you don't get to see them.
Yeah, a guy like Steven Stamkos of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now the Blues to center. Another odd man rush. It's Backus. Oh, and Steenwood offside on right wing. Or he might have had his third.
Guys, there's an awful lot of St. Louis fans in here. I see them, an awful lot of them down here, but I had lunch and I ran into some guys from the Madison County Sheriff's Department in Illinois, and they wanted to send a hi to everybody back at the Madison County offices. Kyle, Robbie, Mark, and Doug were all at lunch today. In fact, they bought me lunch, guys. How can I not,
very nice.
How can I not say hello for them?
Why wouldn't they buy the Hall of Famer lunch, Bernie? Huh?
Well, I don't know why they would.
And happy birthday to Loretta Kaiser, a Blues season ticket holder since 1967.
And Scott Hagan, too, another St. Louisan, too, that's here at the game, too. So happy birthday to Scott as well.
Right in front of you, Bernie. I know you're right at the Zamboni entrance. That Hendricks not giving up in this game. He goes right to the front of the net, and Bouwmeester has to protect the turf right there. Bouwmeester's had a couple of assists in this game. You talk about defensemen. Shattenkirk's had an assist. Pietrangelo has a goal and 1 assist. And then Bouwmeester has 2 assists.
This team really, came out with a real message tonight, though. After, Nashville started that second period with a little pressure. As soon as it seemed that they kind of turned it back on, and when Oshie scored, it seemed to everything go north for the Blues from then on, and they've played a real outstanding game since that moment.
I think that Schwartz goal was the key, though, wasn't it?
Absolutely, Banger.
You know, you get to that third goal, a 2-0 lead isn't very secure when you're on the road.
And it's nice to see someone other than, there was seeing Steen, Oshie, all those guys score most of the goals. Nice to see somebody else score.
Yeah. That's right.
What a chance there for Smith, and a good save again by Jaro Halak. And now Cullen gets it back on the goal. Work in on the forecheck. It comes free. And Derek Roy there for the Blues, and he snaps one to center. Sobotka now into the zone for Polak. Roman Polak a shot, and that is taken in the midsection by Hellberg, and no further play.
I'd like to also say hello to Radar and the guys. They're sitting in section 331 tonight, and they want to say hello to the Robbins Halloween party over in Illinois. So he's got a painted head going on here. He's got Cardinals on one side of his head, and he's got the Blues on the other. He's a bald guy. You have to be if you're going to paint your head. Right? John, you can't paint your head. Bernie can't paint his head. I mean, that is...
We could dye it, but not paint it.
Yes.
And that's not going to happen.
As Berglund, I second that, Bernie. He wins the faceoff back for Shattenkirk. 3.5 to play here in the third period.
Bernie, yours will never go to that gray area, but when it does, you're going to have to paint it.
You know what? It's gray on the sideburns now. There, it's distinguishing is what it is.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Now Jackman and Hornquist have words, and then Morrow adds his 2 cents.
Morrow's been in the middle of a lot of these little scrums, hasn't he? Old Hornquist, after he had that shove there on, obviously on Stewart every time he's been on the ice. And that's the sign of a tight team, isn't it, Bernie?
Yep.
You know, when you don't stick together, you wonder. Even from our view, you go, are these guys all in it together? But, boy, that's not this St. Louis Blues hockey club. They are all in it together.
And it even goes back to the fact that they just spent all that time in South Carolina doing some extra bonding, too.
Yep.
So these are all important things in the course of a year.
Here's Backus a pass. That was tipped by a Predator stick, and it comes to center.
And they're looking for Steen every time. Backus is looking way back there just inside the blue line for Steen.
Now Weber to center ice. That's tipped along by Wilson. Steen goes back to get it. And that comes around. Oshie there. He'll get a piece of it, and the puck rolls to center ice. Fisher will play it back in his own zone. And then Jones and Weber play catch deep in their own zone. This goes back into the Blues end. Shattenkirk beats a couple of forecheckers to it. Comes around to Reeves. Now for Sobotka. With some speed, a shot, and that's up high over the right shoulder of Hellberg. Hit the glass. Now Bouwmeester with it. He's open, looking for the tip. And that was just off the mark. And now Reeves on the cycle for Tarasenko. Tarasenko away from Forsberg. Predator player was knocked down. They're upset with somebody. That's Reeves and Sobotka in the middle of things.
Yeah, that was Ellis, though, that he dumped. Ryan Ellis. Sobotka just shoved him on his back. After Tarasenko does a really neat job in the corner. But here's the battle in front. And look at, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. And then it's going to be one cross-check to the arms. That's okay. Let's bang. Wow.
Ellis does not know what he's getting into, does he?
Nope.
I don't think he wants to get into it.
No.
And you told Barry Trotz this morning that Sobotka knows MMA, and he, oh, really?
Well, he just said, is there a stronger, tougher player pound for pound in the NHL? And our answer collectively, guys, is no, there's not. There's not a player with the kind of balance that he has, plays the kind of game that he played, rarely gets knocked down, reverse hits. I mean, not an embellisher, he's just a good, honorable player. Plays the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Every team would like to have him on it, and the guys hate playing against him, which tells you want him on your side.
And Sobotka did go down near the Blues locker room, and now he's back. I think the Predators will get a power play here.
Yeah, and he was thinking that he was done for the night.
Hey, I don't know if this is this. I don't know where the power play comes from. Oh, he didn't do it any
Yeah,
more than anybody else.
No, but that last part of it, I think they looked at it all, and after the little cross-check to the arms by Ellis, they were going to let that go because, I think, Bernie anyway, because Sabotka had given it to him, and then that last little push was enough, I think.
Well, they got Reeves unless Reeves is serving it for Sabotka, the double, I don't know, Panger, if they both got, because Reeves was in the middle of that too.
Predators on their third power play, 0 for 2 tonight. Here is David Legwand now to Weber for Jones, right in front to Hornquist. And Halak said no from close range. Sabotka gets a double minor for roughing. And Ellis gets a single minor, so Reeves serves that double minor.
And interesting that the Blues have held Nashville to 4 or fewer power plays the last 4 games and won 3 of them. And here we are again. They've only had 3 power plays. Amazing.
Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes your way next here on Fox Sports Midwest. Predators on the power play. And a wrist shot was off the mark from Forsberg, who, by the way, is not related to former Predator Peter Forsberg, fellow Swede.
Great trade, though, by Dave Boyle. Great trade, moving the veteran Marty Erat. Long-time fixture here, but you get a guy like that, a first-rounder, a high prospect. He's going to be a good player.
In the 9 seconds, it's fired down the ice by Bouwmeester. He was the Capitals' 11th overall pick. In 2012 was Forsberg. And Erat wanted the trade. 20 seconds left here. Wilson trying to center one. In some traffic in front, and Roman Polak will send a long bouncer down the ice, and that almost went in by Hellberg.
Well, this is an impressive victory on the road. They get 1 point last night against Vancouver. Disappointed in that, but still they trailed 2-0 and came back to make it 2-2. And now they end up coming into Nashville, a tough place, missing Magnus Paajarvi after the first period, Chris Stewart midway through the second period. But Jaro Halak was outstanding, and so was that guy, Alexander Steen. With 2 goals in this game, his 9th and 10th. He is tied with Ovechkin for the league lead in goals. He is our Bud Light player of the game. 23 minutes of ice time, 2 goals, 4 shots, another brilliant performance.
Blues win it 6-1 to snap their 2-game winless streak.